Hey, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make a garden path using just the basic square tiles you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's and transform it into something a little more whimsical, charming, a little like a rambling little British cottage walkway. Let's get started. So this is the square tile that you can find at Home Depot or Lowe's. They have them in red, they have them in concrete. Some are more pebble filled, the mixture of concrete and small pebbles, if you want that look. But this was just what we had on the property, so I didn't want to spend any money at all on this path. So I just used all the pavers I could find. There was many all over the property, and I dug those up. And now I'm going to show you how I break them up. The method I use is pretty caveman, pretty basic. And it's not too bad if you're frustrated and want to get some frustration out, but most times what I do is just raise it and smash it down. That one didn't break. But if it doesn't, or if you want to get the smaller, I would just take the hammer and break it up. And then it's just a matter of doing a little bit of puzzling and rearranging around. As you see over here, I have the random ones that I wanted to have some kind of pattern. I didn't want to break those up, so I put those in between. And then the broken pieces will go in between all those pavers. And over there, I want to make a place for the little patio set. And this will be a nice place where I can sit. The biggest problem, the other thing you want to do first is put down your weed control so things aren't growing up in between. And that was the problem I was having, is this, if you're gonna get any kind of weed control cover, get the plastic opaque. The one that's woven, I had so many weeds coming up in between, it was ridiculous. So I was constantly having to fix that. So now what I've done is I've doubled up the weed control first, and I doubled that up, and then of course the rocks, I shouldn't have any weeds coming up, hopefully. If nothing else, just very, very little. So make sure that you put the weed control down first. If you have larger pavers, make your pattern, and now we're gonna go in between. So because I have a little bit of red and less of the red but the white, I try to kind of randomly make those. And then when there's edges that break, I make that the edge. And don't worry about any cracks in between, because you fill those with smaller rocks or with the sand and dirt. And for me, I don't want to worry about it being I leveled it as much as I could, the dirt, but I didn't want to worry it being absolutely perfect or absolutely straight, because I wanted it to be somewhat kind of charming. And like I said, a little British cottage walkway kind of look. So unless it's completely uneven, I'll put some dirt underneath it to get so someone doesn't trip, so it's not a huge lit problem. But for the most part, I wasn't going super. If you want it super duper straight, you can level it and make sure. But using different tiles, there's a little bit of a different thickness. So there's a little bit of a charming warble rambling to the path. But I like that. That's what I wanted. And now we're going to complete. Another thing to remember is when you're breaking up the bigger pieces, you're going to come up with small little pieces, and I save those and use those for those in-between parts that maybe a larger piece won't fit, and I just put them in there. Now we're ready to put the sandy. So our soil is a very silty, sandy soil, so I can use it here to fill in the cracks. And maybe later, if I want to, I can use a mortar mix cement and put it in there to add a little bit. But usually you just use that, and that would help cement it all together. Just hose it down and you're all cemented together. But for me right now, I don't have the mortar cement, so I'm just going to use our soil, and usually that's enough to keep it nice and firm from moving. So now I'm going to get some of the sandy mixture soil dirt with a scoop of that, a large scoop, and just dump it right on top and spread it really good so it gets in between those cracks. Preferably, I would have liked to use like a tanner sand for the color, but I wanted to see if I could do this whole path using just what I had and not spending any money. So far, I'm there. We'll see. Not at the end yet. And now I'm ready to move on to the next section. Okay, now I'm going to try and see, fingers crossed, I had to put my hat on because it's getting so hot, if I have enough of the square tiles to break up and finish to make an actual little patio sitting area. So, fingers crossed, I can pull this off without spending a penny. Let's see. Hydration break. Lemonade, watered down lemonade. Gotta hydrate. Florida summer. Gotta hydrate. Break time over. So I'm now almost at the end for the patio part, but realized I can't be uneven here since there's going to be table and chairs and I don't want it wobbly. And I'm not sure I'm going to have enough tiles. I think I might run out as I get closer. But I'm just going to give it a try and see, and then I can always get more tiles at Home Depot or Lowe's. But this will be the last part. I still have hope. I still believe I have enough. We'll see. Okay, I ran out of tiles, so challenge not quite met. Didn't quite make it. Not a ton. I'd say I need maybe half dozen more tiles to finish it, but I wanted to get the patio done first to see how much I had left in this little, just a small part of the walking path. I don't recommend doing it in the heat. As you can see, it's only 8 a.m. and it's already about 90 degrees. So it's probably a good place to stop. Better to go to Home Depot than to carry on with this. But that gives you an idea. Making an inexpensive, charming, rambling cottage path with inexpensive cement tiles. Thanks. Bye.